This entertainment and society news segment of the Suburban Radio Hour is brought to you by Olmecs and the Civilizations of the Gulf of Mexico, a fascinating exhibition that lifts the veil on the mysterious, earliest known civilization in Mesoamerica. Presented at the Point Acalía Museum until September 15th.
Carol Wiseman, editor of the Suburban, back with you on the Suburban Radio Hour with my good friends and colleagues, Anthony Bonaparte, features editor, Mark Lidbetter, sports editor. And now we'll turn it over to Mike Cohen with everything you need to know about entertainment society news. And he has a very special guest, Montreal pianist named Mark Pincus. Mike?
I'm here in NDG at Porch Fest with Mark Pincus. Mark, was this your first time performing at Porch Fest?
No, I've done it the last several years, actually. And I don't want to miss it. It's really a fantastic opportunity to celebrate the neighborhood and all the people that live in this area and share my music with people that I know and some that I don't know. So it's really a fun time.
And what a privilege it is at no cost for people just to bring their own chair to sit down. And you performed a lot of songs in that hour.
Well, I've got like 18 albums out, so I just made a list of some of the pieces from various albums, and I could have gone on for maybe about 10 hours, but an hour is long enough for me.
You've been performing the piano for how many years now?
I started when I was 7 giving concerts, so, am I supposed to tell people my age?
Now you are.
Anyway, yeah, so it's close to 60 years I've been performing.
Amazing, amazing. So what's on tap for you this summer? Where are you headed?
Yeah, well, I'm off again to Divina, Sweden, to perform at, it's called the Yoga Mela Festival. Yoga Mela spelled M-E-L-A.
Right.
It's in Sweden, and absolutely it's musicians and bands that come from all over the world to celebrate humanity and peace and love, care, share is their motto. So, so I'm leaving in July for a couple concerts there to an international audience. It's gonna be great.
So no signs of retirement for Mark Pincus at all?
That word retired doesn't ring with me at all. I've been playing the piano for so long, and I feel like I'm just starting, because every time I sit at the piano I discover something new, and other people teach me things too. So I'm totally wide open to learning, and there are only 88 keys, but there's a trillion. It's like the stars. There's millions of possibilities to play the piano, and I'm just getting started. So no retirement for me ever.
Well, it was great to actually see you in person. So thanks for your time, and keep up the great work.
Thanks so much, Michael, and all the best with your writings and at Suburban. And let's keep spreading the peace and love through music to the people on this beautiful planet.
It's a deal. That's Mark Pincus live in NDG.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Mike. That was a great interview. And now you've got some more news about entertainment society around town.
Yes. It was great to be out at the NDG Porch Fest. I wish other communities would do the same thing. The Greece is coming to Point Claire, Wista, the group, a lot of young people in that group, and they're going to be putting on Greece. It's actually started on May 25th. There's still shows you could see May 28th, 29th, 30th, as well as the 26th during the day at the Louis Chalmers Theatre in Point Claire. There's Bet Halochem Canada is going to have
Beit Halochem.
There you go. Thank you for the pronunciation correction. Yeah, for the injured vets. They are going to be having a big fundraiser, very emotional fundraiser this year, May 28th in the West End. They have not publicized the exact location. You have to get tickets first, and they will tell you for security reasons where it's going to be. But they are going. They of course help the injured veterans, and there's been a lot. Unfortunately, since October 7th, so their role has become even more important than ever before. The St. Ambroise Montreal Film Fringe Festival is actually going to be unveiling its lineup officially on Monday. And one show to watch out for is the Oren Safdie's world premiere of Beyond Ken Dryden. I'm sure
which you wrote about
Mark
this week.
Lidbetter was a big fan of Ken Dryden, right, Mark?
Oh yes, very much so.
That's right. So he probably will be interested in seeing this show. I don't know if Beryl, were you a fan of Ken Dryden?
I was a friend of Ken Dryden's. I'm not.
You were a friend of his? Of course, you knew him politically. I forgot.
Yes, after the hockey stuff.
That's right, exactly.
Great
and Anthony, did you ever do a cartoon on Ken Dryden?
I was a big fan of Moshe Safdie.
Okay, well that's good enough. So it's his son. Oren is his son. And this show is a one-man show. It's June 6th to the 16th at Studio Multimedia. And other stuff going on at the Fringe that I've written about this week. Iris Barr, who was noted for her role on Curb Your Enthusiasm, she's going to be doing a bunch of stand-up shows between June 6th to 16th. And Murray Meyer, he's an interesting, a former Montrealer who comes back and he drives all the way from LA to Montreal, and he is going to be doing his show. He's been at the Fringe many times before, and he's a lawyer, and he tells a lot of stories. Je demeure en Montréal, and he spells things with a little bit of a change. He's a Brooklyn Jewish boy.
Tell me, he doesn't like
Montreal.
He doesn't like to fly. He has to drive from LA to Montreal.
He is just an adventurer. He's an interesting guy. We've been corresponding. I think you should probably see that show, Barrow. He was a Brooklyn Jewish boy, landed in Montreal in 1957, attended the PSBGMs. He flunked French. He attended Sir George, and he ended up becoming a lawyer, and he's operating in the States, and he's going to be at the Grand Chapelle, and he's been emailing me a lot to promote his show.
Okay, should be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So that is going to be, so people can go to the Suburban website, go into the blog section, go into Cohen Confidential, my entertainment notebook, which was started to be part of this show, where there's much more details on all of these programs and more. And look forward to speaking to you guys next week.
Thanks, Mike. That was Mike Cohen with Entertainment and Society News. I'm Beryl Wiseman, editor of the Suburban. This is the Suburban Radio Hour. And let's check in with Montreal's best weather specialist, Steve Bellina. Steve, what do we have coming up?
Good evening, Montreal. I'm Stephen Bellina, and welcome to the Suburban Weather Minute. We had a rather active summery week last week as temperatures soared into the upper 20s and low 30s for many. Montreal reached 31.3 Celsius, shy of the record high temperature. That was on Wednesday. On average, it usually takes until June 16th for us to get that warm, so we're ahead of the curve in that regard. Humidex values were high, 37.4 Celsius recorded on Wednesday. That's almost 100 Fahrenheit. So if it felt warm, that's because it was. And all indications are we're looking at that type of a summer. A very intense heat dome is getting ready to develop across the south central portion of the United States along the Gulf Coast, and that's going to push heat and humidity into the central part of the continent. We'll see how long it takes for it to get back into the Montreal region. For the short term, we are looking at slightly cooler temperatures, less humidity, and temperatures that are more suited for this time of year. We did have some strong thunderstorms as well that accompanied the heat and humidity. That included a storm late Wednesday that had nearly 400 lightning strikes on it as it crossed the island of Montreal, a quick-moving cell that developed just to our southwest. What that did do is knock out power to almost 20,000 residents across the southwestern portion of the province, many in the Montreal region. A typical lightning bolt has about 300 million volts and about 30,000 amps. So when that comes in contact with the Hydro-Quebec's equipment, it's usually not a good match. For comparison, your average household current is about 120 volts and 15 amps. So you can see the power in a lightning strike. We had some severe weather. The tornadoes stateside have been terrible this spring. Another one going through Greenfield, Iowa, with strong winds virtually obliterated the community of 2,000 people. There have been over 800 tornadoes already reported in 2024, so a very active year going on down there. As I said, coming up, more seasonal temperatures, chance of showers and thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday, and then we see some clearing skies to end the week, temperatures running between 18 and 22 Celsius. Overnight lows in the middle teens. I'm Stephen Bellina. This has been the Suburban Weather Minute. You can always get an update at thesuburban.com under the blogs tab, the Suburban Weather page.
Thanks, Steve. Again, this is Beryl Wiseman. This is Suburban Radio Hour. And we'll be right back with a check on local sports with Mark Littbetter. But first, we're off to the CJD Traffic Center.
This entertainment and society news segment of the Suburban Radio Hour is brought to you by Olmecs and the Civilizations of the Gulf of Mexico, a fascinating exhibition that lifts the veil on the mysterious